have not been pulled? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion by Mrs. Whitfield, second by Mrs. Brill. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, all opposed, motion carries 7-0. So we'll move to new business. And before we start the new business, we have a couple items to deal with. One of them is our announcement that we do recognizing the families of employees who passed away and those employees. We have one tonight. We'd like to recognize Stephanie Lindsay Lawrence, who was a behavior physical needs assistant at Dwight D. Eisenhower Elementary. She was born in 1969 and passed away June of 2017. So this time, if we could please take a moment of silence in remembrance of this employee. Thank you very much. We have some good cause items that need to be addressed tonight. We have PMM2, underwriter for cops, and due to the anticipated changes in tax code that prevent advance refundings on this, there's a critical need for the board to complete the transaction of 2017B transaction before the end of the year. So based upon items that have been dealt with in the past, this item has been added to the agenda because of the time-sensitive nature of this transaction and the substantial financial impact of the board if it fails to action. And my understanding is, and you'd see it in the board report, that this saves us about $2.5 million, I believe, in interest. Our other items for good cause are LAC 2018 modifications to the collective bargaining agreement related to ASOP, LAC 2018 modifications to the SEIU contract, P2, approval of the salary schedules for school-based administrators, and P3, the approval of the revised salary schedules for non-bargaining unit employees. And good cause exists so that this allows the timely processing of raises for all of these employees. LD1, the final order approval of LD1 is added to the agenda. This is a result of the exceptions hearing we had last week. And P4, the personnel addendum is added so that the employees affected can start their new positions as soon as possible. And I assume, Dr. Rosa, that means for some of them tomorrow.
That's right, sir.
So we'll move to our new business items.
I'm going to go ahead and start.
Yes, sir.
FMT2, I recommend the board designate Citigroup Global Markets Incorporated as the underwriter of the 2017 B COP issue.
Is there a motion? Motion by Dr. Robinson, second by Mrs. Brill. Any discussion? This is one that we just approved for a savings and interest on this one. All in favor, all opposed. Motion carries 7-0.
Next item, LAC1. I recommend the board approve the attached tentative agreement retroactive to July 1, 2017, pending the ratification by the CTA.
Motion, this one I guess, it's all of the hands go up, so this will be a motion by the entire board, second by the entire board. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? All opposed. Next item, LAC2.
I recommend the board approve the attached tentative agreement pending ratification by ASOP.
Same motion. All board members move. All board members second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed. Motion carries 7-0. LAC3.
I recommend the school board approve the attached tentative agreements with SEIU, FPSU, Regular Supervisory and Paraprofessionals 2, ECPs, effective January 1, 2018, pending ratification by SEIU and FPSU.
Same motion. All seven board members second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, all opposed. Motion carries 7-0.
LD1. I recommend the board consent and approve the final order pursuant of the recommended order issued by the administrative law judge and authorize the chairman, superintendent, and general counsel to sign all necessary documents.
Motion by Dr. Robinson, second. Second by Mrs. Whitfield. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next item, Dr. Vosa.
I recommend the board approve the salary increases and revised salary schedules for school-based administrators as submitted.
And we'll do the same motion again, all seven, and all seven will second it. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Dr. Vosa, next item.
I recommend the board approve the salary increases and revised salary schedules for non-bargaining unit or NBU employees as submitted.
Same motion, same second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
P4, I recommend the board approve the personnel addendum as submitted.
Motion by Mrs. Brill, second by Mr. Barbieri. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Dr. Vosa, P. That's it. List is done. All right, that concludes our regular agenda. So at this time, we will move to speakers. I'll call three at a time. Carl Mohammed, Mike Dowling, Ellen Baker. Frank Eddy, Gary Mitten.
Happy holidays, team players. You know, once again, it's a voice from the silent storm that continues to plague education in the state of Florida. And those of us who are here, many of us made a commitment early on when the Florida Statute 1003.42 was given to those inside of the state of Florida. But we have, as of yet, moved in that direction to really ensure that all children are educated properly. And when I speak to you from the worst part of your system because I still look at the data that you accumulate across your entire system. And African-American children, particularly the African-American male child, he's still in a lot of trouble. Now, this year we was asking, because we had great expectations from the school district and from our community, that we would look at the new things that was designed in order to move our children forward. I have not as of yet heard of anything, and I know that we should have something new that we can introduce to our community as a result of us retrieving all of that information that we had. And, you know, when we look at this time of the year, everybody look at morality and everybody's supposedly looking at the good qualities that are inside of each and every last one of us. But I don't seem to see that kind of love and respect truly coming to the African-American children, because our conversation has not come to the attention like I see a lot of other things coming to. And I see where the teachers are talking about dollar bills and things like that, but we know that many of them are not equipped to even be talking about teaching. I'm hoping that we can get some kind of serious conversation relative to the movement of the worst part of your system, and that is your African-American children. And I think we need a mature conversation where we can talk directly to our community. Now, on the January the 27th, we realized that inside of our community, we've been having problems as well as in developing some kind of real entity inside of our community. But we're going to have a first responders meeting on January the 27th, and we're going to try to put together some real thought processes so that we might be able to bring our community a little bit closer to the idea of helping the school board with the problem that you have in educating our children. And I'm hoping that we would take a critical look. I heard the educational department come up here and talk about some resources that was available. But I know that I've been on this road since the law was passed, and I know we haven't spent any real dollars in trying to repair that problem that we have with the Florida statute. I'm hoping that as you go out for the Christmas break, and as you look at morality and the moral fiber that is we all possess, I'm hoping that you would consider the idea of taking another critical look at the Florida statute and how possibly we might be able to have something, at least by February the 1st, Black History Month, something good that we can have to offer to the African American community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mitten.
Good evening.